Hello and welcome to yet another YouTube video here on this channel. In today's video, I'm diving into why I struggle with using applications like Notion and Obsidian, and I'm going to show you my biggest issues in both of these applications. And it might be that I am the only one that has this problem, but my belief is that if I struggle with something, there is probably someone else struggling with the same thing. And I actually, as you can see, use Notion a lot because I've built out a whole entire workspace. But as you can see, I haven't used it for a while. This is back from 2023. I used this a lot in 2022, and I wasn't actually able to achieve any of these goals, but that is for another video. I have my clothing brand in here. I have set it up, everything like linked everything perfectly together, and I have my tasks and my ideas and even notes and books and podcasts. I have a lot of things in here. I even use the Snipped integration for those of you familiar with the application Snipped. But I had a couple of issues. The main one being that Notion is way too customizable, and the same goes for Obsidian. The applications allow you to customize to infinity, and that was exactly what I did. So it started off with just having this task manager right here. So this, just having my all tasks and my projects right here. Then it went to having a dashboard for my personal stuff and my clothing brand and my YouTube channel. And this dashboard right here is now the home page. It basically gives me the same thing a home page would. Um, but I started adding these home pages for every aspect of my life. Then I actually wanted a beautiful way to see all of my areas of life. So I use Para, but I wanted to have it like this. So I started creating all of these pages. And I think I even added some, I actually did. I added like notes in here, projects in here, knowledge databases with different tags. So every single area actually had notes with the filter on, so it will only show me notes for my clothing brand here, notes for social media here, notes for mindfulness here, personal relation notes here. So I would start creating this instead. Then I wanted notes, so I added notes, but I also wanted a place to have my books and podcasts. I first actually had them with my notes, but then figured out that they should be in a separate database, and I had the snipped integration, so I needed to place that together with my books. Then I wanted a separate space for all of the articles that I captured, so they ended up in here. And I wanted a way to suddenly I wanted a way to see if I had processed them or not. So I added this, but then I had to add another filter. So it just went on and on and on with all of these customizations. And I haven't even gotten to the fact that you can jump into your settings and fix things here as well. But I I just spent way too much time trying to build the perfect system and trying to have the perfect images. Do you know how much time I spent finding the right images for all of these areas right here? And inside of Obsidian, I've had a similar issue, but not exactly the same way. So Obsidian has a little bit of a different system because Obsidian uses the plugin ecosystem to help you customize things. But just to show you an example, this is actually from one of the plugins I'm using, and I would spend a lot of time actually tagging things as well, and backlinking them to see that everything was backlinked perfectly. And this is also an issue I had with Obsidian. Just to quickly touch on that, I had backlinking anxiety, I don't even know that it is a real word. I think I just made it up, and this might actually be a problem only I have. But my personal knowledge management went to a point where I actually would dream about, or even right before I would fall asleep, I would think about, did I actually remember to link those two things together? And in 99% of the cases, I actually had, but I would like wake up in the mid, or not wake up in the middle of the night, but right before falling asleep, I would stand up and I would go to my computer just to check that things were backlinked properly. I actually had backlinking anxiety. I think that's the right word for it. But apart from having that issue, there is also another issue in Obsidian, which was a problem for me. Just look at the amount of plugins we have here. Just look at how many plugins there are here. And I could go on for days just installing plugin and trying to find my perfect system and trying to just connect everything together and build everything perfectly so I could test this Kindle light right here. And maybe I didn't like that. I would rather have the Readwise one. There is a Readwise one here as well. But as you can see, there are just so many plugins to keep control of. Here is the Readwise official one. So the Kindle one didn't work out. I would rather have the Readwise official one. Uh, Excalibrain is actually a plugin I know a lot of people use. Read It Later. Maybe I want my Read It Later applications to be in Obsidian as well, or RSS reader. There are just so many plugins, and I would spend so much time just testing out plugins and trying to build out my perfect system. And the main problem here, at least in my case, is that I lack the discipline to actually don't spend time inside of these applications just trying to fix everything and organize everything perfectly. That is something I struggle with a lot, and I have struggled with a lot. Um, so that's why I went away from Notion. I tried Obsidian for a little while, but it never caught on. And I had the same problem there. And this doesn't just apply to things like Notion and Obsidian, it also applies to similar applications like AppFlowy, even AnyType, which I still use. And uh, this doesn't mean that I hate Notion, I hate Obsidian, because I don't. I do not hate any of these applications. I actually think that Obsidian and Notion are two of the best, if not the two best options out there. They just do not work for me. So I've ended up using My Mind instead, and that is simply because My Mind does this auto tagging for me, so I can press read later and I can get everything that is tagged read later, and it is just much simpler than having to organize everything yourself. And I am sacrificing a few things by choosing My Mind as my main note-taking app, but the main point of personal knowledge management is to help you actually do better work. And unfortunately, Notion and Obsidian does not do that for me. My mind does it because I do not spend time inside of the applications organizing and trying to learn and figure things out. It is plug and play and it is really easy to use. And I also use Todoist because of the natural language processing, and I use Toos as more of a bullet journal mindfulness thing, not necessarily just for productivity, but for a way for me to see what I've done. So that is why I can't use applications like that, and these are my personal applications. So for team use cases, for the people I collaborate with on this YouTube channel and my personal businesses, as well as my day job, that is different because those applications are used as a team, and it is more important for me that the people I'm working with can use the applications rather than me, because I would probably end up learning every application anyways. So that's a whole different thing. Anyways, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoy productivity apps and productivity and mindfulness in general, please do subscribe, and I hope to see you again quite soon.